So my sister is very into theater, and she had a daughter. I think about 4 years ago now. I think she turned four recently. I should know that. Yes, she turned four recently. In case she listens to
Uh-huh.
this and says you don't know how old your niece is, I'm say okay. She's
Yeah,
definitely
Uncle Dean. You have to
she's
know that.
yes. She wanted to call me Dunkel, to which I promptly shot down. I
That
think my
means dark in German. Dunkel.
Dunkel. Yes, I've had a few
Uh-huh.
Dunkels, and I've had a few Dunkels. It's a fun time. So my sister was in theater, and she did shows up until the time that she had her daughter. So she was used to the whole theater lifestyle. Going to work during the day, but then from 5 o'clock until 10 o'clock, rehearsing shows or performing and doing it all again the next day. Um, the irony there is I did theater in high school for 1 year, and I was like, I don't want to do this. Even though
Hmm.
I did choir. I was in three different choirs, or sorry, two different. No, I was in three different choirs. I did the basic mixed a cappella group, the group which is like 60 or 70 people, and then I did a performance like a show choir, like Glee, like
Hmm.
group. It wasn't as cool as Glee, but it was. There were still some fun pieces that we did, and then I was also in a men's ensemble like the do wop wop do,
Hmm.
so that kind of thing, um, and then I wanted to go into government, and I wanted to work in in intelligence, and I was in Army ROTC for a year, and then eventually that didn't work out, and then I ended up in theater, in a way
Hmm.
with my YouTube channel and with performing there. It was kind of like a reluctant, not reluctant in the sense, but it took me a while to think of myself as a performer. The first couple years I was kind of like on camera, but I felt kind of shy or silly about it. I was like, "Hey, I'm Dean, and I'm here doing a yoga workout," because it was still, I think I was still getting over this idea that yoga wasn't, super masculine, and I wanted to come across as like a really, strong masculine guy, and here I am wearing shorts in a field doing yoga. Um,
Hmm.
and why did I bring all that up? I'm bringing that up because I kind of I get I can understand the toil of the theater performer. It seems like it's a very uh, demanding job physically, and it's cool that you were able to go through that experience and then learn how to take care of your body with physical fitness. So my other I don't know if that led into a question, but my other question that I did have from here, um, you've just always enjoyed being on film and recording. Do you remember, what is so enjoyable about it for you? Was there something in particular when you were, you said you did it a lot when you were a kid. So I'm just wondering, was there something that was, that made it super enjoyable? Was there something else that you know, got away from when you were able to do that, or what was, what really drove that, the joy of performing?
The thing is the way I'm on camera is pretty much exactly how I am in real life, just a little more elevated.
Mm,
Like theater is elevated life. Andrew Lloyd Webber, the famous composer, said, you can say I love you in real life, but you can say I love you 50 times in a song and it's perfectly normal. So when I was a kid and I get the camcorder, my dad bought one and I just learned how to use it and went nuts with it. But we would have sleepovers a lot. Friends of mine would stay over, and if you stayed over at my house, we would do home videos. And we would always do interview shows, which would always de-evolve in us shooting each other with cap guns and hitting each other and stuff because we're guys, and we'd be running around jumping off the. We had a really steep decline in the yard. We would jump off that. This is in the country in Wisconsin,
mm.
and
Wisconsin, yes.
the home videos were so much fun. I even put up. My dad helped me put up lights and put a little backdrop down, and it was very fluid. We'd say, okay, let's just go with this, and we do an interview show. We'd always interview and have different guests, and Then we went through a phase where we found a bunch of M80 firecrackers and we blow things up in our driveway, and we tie it into a story like, here's the Hulk, and then I had this little Hulk figure, and we blew him up, and we'd light the fuse and run like 100 yards away, so you'd hear that on the camera. All of a sudden, our voices like, oh, and then boom. And sometimes the fuses wouldn't work, and we walk over, then they'd explode, or sometimes they never would. But it's the 80s. It didn't matter. We could do whatever we wanted.
Right.
You know, I don't have any fingers, but which makes my down dogs difficult. No, I do have fingers. But I love filming. You know, and I'd film by myself a lot. I have videos of me just tooling around in my room, I'm filming, and then you hear my dad knock on the door. I'm like, okay, Sean, start wrapping up. We have to go somewhere. We have to, you know, leave to go somewhere. But my buddies they'd one or two, or they'd stay overnight, and they would flourish on the camera because there weren't many cameras around back then. And you put them on camera, and they were really fun. A lot of them. I have these VHS tapes, and it'll be 30 years next month that I graduated high school. I don't know if we're doing a reunion, but it'd be something to bring out, you know, 30 years later.
Yeah. You know, the novelty of the camera, that is something that people who were born, you know, after the year 1999 will not be able to appreciate, because everyone has access to a camera.
Now.
Yeah. Like before, I remember I was young enough to remember the age of when a camera was like, you're on camera, like, oh my God, I'm on camera. And now it's
and
like
everyone performs
secret,
and everyone acts different.
Yeah. So for you, it was very much this play. This was your ability. Like this was time for you to play. It was unrestricted.
It's an extension
flow.
of playing, and thank God I did it, because there's these time capsules now that I have. I'm so happy I have all these. I'm so happy I have all these videos now, of course. I mean, I have my iPhone. I film my son all the time, my family, but I'm so happy I have videos of me doing Pilates from 2009, because now that's ancient history. Everything just turns into shadows. So, yeah, exactly. I love to play, and the best things in life, you don't even think about it. You just do it. Like when I hit record to do a workout video, I just go. I don't overthink it. It's playtime. It's therapy. You don't know it at the time as a kid, but it's very therapeutic. It's creative and inspiring. A lot of times you're outside on a summer day in Wisconsin wearing clothes that don't match, because I didn't even care back then. I had my skateboarding ramps in the driveway because I was a thrasher for a while. You know, I can't even explain it. I have no words for it. It's play, as you said. It's total playtime. And I think fitness is play too. I love cinema. I love film. I love film history, cinematography. I grew up with the original Star Wars films. And I even had an 8mm camera from my family before I had the camcorder. And I would do stop animation with those because I was always so intrigued by the art of film production. So, somebody once said, walk by a magazine rack, and whichever magazines you choose, those are fields you should really consider going into, because these are the things you're very interested in. I always liked anything with entertainment or theater or film, and I like fitness stuff too. So if you can combine the two, and I like to talk about movies in my videos, because movies to me are such great expressions of art and creativity. And I find movies to be very inspiring. Like before I go film sometime, I'll put on a skateboard movie, or I'll put on the movie 300, something like that, to get me charged up. Then I'll go out and film. More so than music sometimes, because I like the visual of it too. And movies are put together in such a beautiful way. They're very fluid. Enhanced life.
Hope you enjoyed that. Click over here if you want to watch another clip from the podcast. If you haven't subscribed, click over here to subscribe, and check out full episodes on any major podcasting platform, full video episodes on the Better Man Podcast YouTube channel.